So that is the President of the United States. He is currently hosting the German Chancellor Friedrich Merz at the White House. He has already categorically spoken about what is happening in Iran. He actually says that I might have forced Israel's hands because I knew they were going to hit America first, and that is Iran. The regime was run by very bad people, and we had to stop it. He says that the initial attacks did kill over 40 people, including the Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. And then there was a second wave of strikes that the president mentioned, and that second strike, he says that it had casualties, and the number has not been verified yet. But according to the president, more people died in Tehran today following the second strike. Let's talk to our correspondent, Susan Teherani. She's live in New York. Susan, there's a change of wording from the president, because he says, I might have forced Israel's hands because I knew they were going to hit America first. That's a very telling statement coming from the president, and we heard from the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, who says that they learned that Israel was going to strike first, so they joined Israel in attacking Iran.
But Marco Rubio, Eric, also made very clear, I think it's the perception that some people think that somehow Israel convinced the United States to get into this war. Marco Rubio also said that no one forced the United States to get into this operation, for a lack of a better term, one that the White House likes us to use. And it was the United States that found the need for it to do it. Regarding where Iran was going to strike first, yes, that there seems to be some daylight regarding that issue. But I think, the Democrats and some of President Trump's within his own party were concerned that sort of this is Israel's war and the United States got dragged into it. I think that's what he was trying to clear up.
Susan Teherani is our correspondent in New York. Keep an eye on what is happening at the White House, because the president says that he's going to make it clear and clarify on what is really happening in Iran, because this, he says, is a continuous operation. He's also claiming that there is no air protection or intelligence in Iran, but Iran is saying something very different. Some of this information that the president is giving, I think, needs to be fact-checked. Don't you think, Susan?
Well, President Trump is very good at trying to confuse the situation about what exactly is happening and what the United States intends to do. For example, during the weekend, he talked to reporters about, what the end game is and whether or not the United States had anyone in mind for the day after this operation. And he gave each reporter a different answer. So I think this is part of the U.S. policy and part of his policy in general, to not give definitive answers in the middle of a war. And I think we saw that during the 12-day war as well. But as far as trying to fact check what's happening on the ground in Iran, well, it's really very difficult, considering the fact the regime has cut off all internet, and the news that's coming from there can't be really verified. But then this sort of information psyop continues as well. So, sane advice to fact check everything before we can draw a conclusion, and that might just drive all of us crazy in such a situation.
To drive us crazy altogether. But Susan Teherani, thank you very much.